Hello, Year Sevens. It's Miss Stranges here. I hope you've enjoyed your first week of online learning or remote learning or home learning or however you're doing your learning. Um, we are done with using our calculators. That was just a one-time thing, just so we can make sure that we know how to use our calculators. I know some of you had some issues, but don't worry, we will get those sorted out when we can. Today, we're going to move on to averages, and you're going to be talking about averages with me for the next little while. And I'm not really sure how much you know about averages from primary school. So I do need you to comment down below in Google Classroom, below the post, what you know and what you don't know. If today's lessons was way too easy, or if it was way too difficult, or if it was just right. It'll let me know how I can change things for the next lesson. As per usual, we're going to start with 10 questions as a starter. So there they are on the screen. If you're looking at the Google slide as well, you can go ahead and write them down from there. If you pause the video, when you come back, the answers should come up on the screen. All right, you go ahead and get started on your starter. Remember, you're trying to write in the back of your exercise book, but if that's not possible, as long as you're writing this work on some kind of paper, that would be great. All right, go ahead. All right, here are the answers to the starter. Hopefully I haven't made too many mistakes. Let's be honest, we all know I'm not so great with my basic maths. So if you go ahead and mark those, you might need to pause the video again, and do let me know if you think I've made any boo-boos. All right, let's get ready for Introduction to Averages. So today's lesson is going to be about the mean, median, mode, and range. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure how much of this you remember from primary school, or if you know anything about it from primary school. We will find out. Most of us should be able to find the mean, median, mode, and range from a list, and then some of us might get onto some slightly fancier questions. But as long as we can all find the mean, median, mode, and range, we will be good to go. So let's discuss what each of those things are. So each of the words that start with the letter M, mean, median, and mode, those are all a measure of an average. Those all tell us if we have a set of numbers, they help us figure out or they help us get an estimate or a rough idea or an average for what all the numbers in that particular set are. And we're going to look at finding the mean, the median, and the mode. The range is not an average. The range actually tells us how spread out all the numbers are. So I've got all of the definitions of these four things, and I've got the word and the definition. They're not actually in the right order, so we're going to have to try to match them up. Now, maybe you already know what all of these are. Let's go ahead and try. So the mean is actually when you add up all the numbers and divide by how many there are. So those two definitions go together. What you might want to do at this point in time is pause this and then write that down in your book. If you already know that, then absolutely brilliant. You don't have to do anything with that. If you just want to have the definition in your book, then that's still a good idea. The median is another kind of average, and the median is when we are looking for the middle number. Now, there's an extra step that we have to do. We actually have to put the numbers in order first, and then we look for the middle number. So that's the definition of the median. The median is the middle number or the middle value. The mode is when we look for the most common number. And I once had a student tell me that it actually stands for most occurring digit ever, which I thought was a really good way to remember that. So the mode is the number that we see the most. And then the range is not an average, it's actually a measure of spread, and the range tells us how spread out everything is. And in order for us to do that, we're going to take the highest value, take away the lowest value. All right, so those are our four averages. Maybe you know about them, maybe it's brand new. Hopefully this is all going to make sense. Let's try some questions together. So this is the nicest questions that I can definitely find on this. We've got example 1. Here's a list of 5 numbers. We've got 8, 10, 10, 11, and 16. So they've already been put in order from smallest to largest, which is extra helpful. The first question wants us to find the mode. Now, hopefully you remember from the last slide, the mode is the most occurring digit ever, the most common number. And now I see the number 10 more than once, so the most common number is 10. We don't have to do any other working out, we just need to write down the answer. When we're looking to find the median, we're looking for the middle number. They need to be in order first, and then we can find the middle number from there. What you want to do is you want to cross out the numbers. So you want to cross them out in pairs. So you cross out the smallest and the biggest number. And now we have three numbers left, and we can cross out the smallest and the biggest, and that tells us that 10 is the number left over in the middle. So the median is also 10. If we want to find the mean, it says calculate, so we're going to actually have to do some maths this time. In order to calculate the mean, we have to add up all the numbers. So 8 plus 10 plus 10 again, plus 11 plus 16. 10, 20, 30, 40, 47. That is going to give us 55. Now, there's 5 numbers, so we have to divide by 5. 55 divided by 5 is 11. Now, when you're going to find the mean, what I'd like you to do is do it as 2 separate calculations. Do your adding up and then do your division. So we have our 3 averages so far. We know that the mode is 10. We know that the median is also 10 and that the mean is 11. So 10, 10, or 11 are all a good guess for all of the numbers that we see up here. They give us an average or a general idea of those 5 numbers. For the last part, they ask us to work out the range. So we want to know how spread out the data is. So we take the biggest number, which is 16, and we subtract off the smallest, which is 8. And there we go. That's what we're looking to do today. On the next example, I'm not going to talk through it. I'm just going to ask you to maybe try it by yourself and then pause it, and then I'll put up the answers. All right, so exactly the same as the previous example. Try this one on your own, either in your whiteboard, or you can do it in your exercise book. So we've got 14, 11, 6, 14, 14, and 7. These numbers are not in order, so make sure that you put them in order and then try to find the mode, the median, the mean, and the range. You might want to pause the video now so that I don't accidentally give you all the answers. All right, so here are the answers. There is one question I would like to go through. So when you want to find the median, so I've put the numbers in order, and then I'm going to go ahead and cross out the smallest and the biggest, and the smallest and the biggest. And now I have a bit of a problem because now I have 2 numbers left. So if you have an even amount of data and you end up with 2 numbers in the middle for the median, what you need to do is add them together. 11 plus 14 is 25. And then you need to divide that by 2. So you need to find out what is in the middle of those 2 numbers. Okay, and now other than that, that's pretty much it. So we can see that we ended up with 14, 12 and a half, and 11 for our averages. Those are all pretty close-ish together. All of those numbers are bigger than 10 and smaller than 15. So that's pretty much what that tells us. Let's make this more complicated in example 2, and hopefully everything's going all right so far. All right, so same idea, a few more words here. Here's a list of some test scores from 7 different students. We've got 12, 14, 9, 15, 7, 15, and 6. Work out the mode, median, mean, and range. All right, so first thing we want to do is put them in order. 6, 7, 9, 12, 14, 15, and 15. I can very clearly see that the mode is 15. The median is the middle number. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. The median is 12. The mean, I'm going to have to add them all up. So I'm just grabbing my calculator. 6 plus 9, 6 plus 7 plus 9 plus 12 plus 14 plus 15 plus 15, which is 78. And then 78 divided by 7. So I'm going to get a decimal this time, and that's absolutely fine. The mean is going to be 11.14. It's absolutely fine if you get a decimal. And the range is going to be, the biggest number is 15. Take away the smallest number, which is 6. The range is 11. No, it's not. It's 9. Sorry. All right. So that is all of those things, which we've done a few times now. Now we have an additional question. So the question is, the 7 students all got 10 extra marks on their test. Will the mode, median, mean, and range change? So if everybody got 10 more marks, what's going to happen to the question? So if this person who got 6 marks, if she or he gets 10 more marks, we're going to get 16, and the next person would get 17, and 19, and 22, 24, 25, and 25. So would any of our answers change? So the mode looks like definitely yes, it's going to change. The mode is now going to become 25, which is different than before. It's just 10 more. The median is also going to be 22, which is very similar to before, but it's 10 more. The mean is going to also, all of them are going to add up to 78 plus 10 more marks each, so that's another 70 marks. So they're going to add up to 148. And when we divide that by 7, everybody's going to get, again, an extra 10 marks. So the average is going to go up to 21.14. But the range, interesting, when we try to find the range, the highest take away the lowest still gives us 9. So the averages will change, but the range is going to stay the same. All right, don't panic too much if that question got a little bit complicated towards the end. I just wanted to throw some extra things in there to see how it was going to go. All right, here's one for you to try by yourself. Danny recorded the heights of members of her extended family to the nearest centimeter. Find the median of their heights, which have been listed below. So there they are. You can do something with them. 1 year later, Danny recorded everyone's height again. Everyone had grown by 5 centimeters. What is the median of their heights now? All right, I think you should pause the video and then I'm going to go ahead and get the answer up. All right, 1, 2, 3, pause, go. All right, so here are the answers to this question. First, what I did is I put everybody's height in order from smallest to biggest, and then I crossed off the smallest and the biggest and the smallest and the biggest, and then I was left with 2 numbers in the middle, and in between 168 and 170 is 169. So that must be the median height of her extended family members. Next year, when everybody had grown by 5 centimeters, all of those numbers are going to get bigger by 5 centimeters. So the median just moves up to 174, which is 5 centimeters more than the current median. All right, let's move on and try one last thing, and then I think that's pretty much us done. So something that we often get asked to do is we often get asked to create our own set of numbers which has certain rules to them. So we would like to write down a list of 5 numbers, but these 5 numbers have to have a range of 10. So that means the difference from the smallest to the biggest has to be 10. So you can start with any number you want. I'm going to start with 3. And then this number over here has to be bigger than that. It has to be 10 bigger than that, which is, I'm going to say 13. Let's see, 13 take away 3 gives me 10, absolutely. And then all of the numbers in here just have to be somewhere between 3 and 13. They didn't tell me any rules about repeating anything, so I could write down whatever I'd like. But they do have to be bigger than 3 and smaller than 13. So I'm going to go with 6, 8, and 10. All right, and that's all they're asking me to do. That is not the only set of answers. There is loads of answers you can get there, as long as the 2 numbers that are the smallest and the biggest differ by 10. Let's try another one of those. All right, so same idea, but this time it has 2 rules on it. Write down a list of 7 numbers, which has, again, a range of 10, but also has a median of 8. If it has a median of 8, the middle number has to be 8. So we've got the smallest and the biggest, and then the next smallest and the next biggest, and next smallest and next biggest. So now we know that this answer right here has to be 8. Now, you can put whatever numbers you want that are smaller. Let's think of some other numbers. 7, 5, 2. And then it says it has to have a range of 10. So that means to get from the smallest number to the biggest one, I have to add on 10. So that means the biggest number is going to be 12. And now I've got 2 more spaces to fill with whatever numbers I would like between 9 and 12. Or sorry, between 8 and 12. They didn't say I couldn't repeat anything. So I'm going to go ahead and call this 8 and 8 again. Why not? There we go. I managed to follow both of those criteria. All right, that is our first lesson on averages. Hopefully that's making some kind of sense. If you have any problems or any questions, or it's too easy or too difficult or whatever, you need to let me know in the Google Classroom, all right? Other than that, I think all your instructions should be in the Google Classroom, but just do keep in touch on there. All right, have a good day.